Well, they were 20 or 40 from three, and so there's not a lot I could say. It's a lot that we need to discuss tomorrow and figure out, but we need to play with more of a sense of urgency.
Josh and Miguel kind of said the same thing, that the urgency wasn't there. Why do you think that was for such a big game, that you didn't have the urgency needed?
I don't think we came with the mindset of being satisfied, but I think it was just subconsciously satisfied being up 2-0, but it's not the way we need to approach the game.
Jalen, you've talked about how your mentality when dealing with social media and the external factors is to flush it away, and kind of ignore the noise. How do you flush this win away, so to speak, but also remember and learn from the mistakes that were committed?
Are you asking me to flush social media or the game?
The game.
Okay. It's not really a flush situation. We got to learn from it. I mean, obviously, it's not a game where we did a lot of things particularly well, but we got to learn from it. It's not something that we can just flush.
And Jalen, you were caught on a lot of switches in the post on Al and Jalen. Schematically and from an execution standpoint, what did you see from the defense tonight?
From our defense?
Yes.
Not covering three-point line well. Find myself in situations where I'm on guys, obviously in the post, but I'm going to put up a fight regardless. And just force tough contested twos when I'm in a position like that. So, but we need to go to the three-point line a little better.
Jalen, obviously we don't know what specific coverage you guys are supposed to be in a certain place defensively, but it felt like there was a lack of communication more so tonight than other nights. Would you chalk that up to some of the kind of miscues on that end from you guys?
Yeah, it's definitely a part of it. I think it falls under the same umbrella as like the urgency part. We need to have that on Monday.
Jalen, more specifically, what did you think of your guys' pick and roll coverage, especially during the first half during the game?
Obviously, they're going to shoot their threes however they get them. So, fortunate enough for us that they were missing games 1 and 2. Tonight they made them. When it comes to our pick and roll defense, we're going to have our coverages. We're going to stick to what we do, and we're going to adjust when we need to adjust. But everything that we need to do has to be done with more intensity, more urgency, more force. It's just from that standpoint. Like, it's not anything schematically. It's more like, do we want it? And tonight, obviously, it wasn't the answer.
Jalen, when a teammate like Mitch is going through that on the foul line, do you try to encourage him? Do you just leave him alone? I mean, what's the approach in that situation?
You encourage. It's a tough position to be in, especially mentally. No, but you got to encourage. Like, we're gonna have each other's back regardless, and so no matter what happens, we're gonna win together. We're gonna lose together. We're gonna go through that together.
Jalen, this is the third game in a row where you guys have been down big, and obviously the comeback didn't happen tonight. Just are you seeing any common thread in how they're building these leads, or how you guys are falling behind that you guys can address for game 4?
Yeah, the first half needs to be a lot better. You cannot play catch up with a team like this consistently. Sorry.
Jalen, you mentioned subconsciously satisfied. Is it just because you went in and came back from 20 points down and, were able to make, magic happen on the road? And is it harder to do that at home after you've done that on the road?
I mean, regardless, it's hard to do. But for us as a team, we don't want to be in that position at all. So we just got to be better when it comes to starting games and making sure we're not in that position.
Joe, you guys have 1 and 3 here in the playoffs. You've obviously been great on the road. What do you make of why you haven't played as well here?
I want to say this is our first loss. It wasn't, a one-possession game. So I don't think it's necessarily not playing well here. This is obviously our home, the best place to play. But just tonight it just wasn't there. Simple as that.
Jalen, you spoke about defending the three-point line better. This is the first time in the series where Boston is shooting at that type of clip from deep. When they're shooting 50%, how much more difficult is it for that perimeter defense to get where you want it to be?
I mean, you can't give them the rhythm. We let them get in the rhythm, walk into threes early. And so, I mean, when you're giving a team like that the green light, it's hard to stop them. So from the jump, we got to be a little more intense on the defensive side of the ball.
All right, two more. Chris and then Bruce. Jalen, you I feel like maybe you've said it, but maybe not in these words. The team that the defending champs, obviously, when you beat Detroit, you said this is a different challenge. Is there just, for you all, given the way the regular season played out, the style they play, the skill they have, do you guys have less margin for error than they do fundamentally in a series like this? Just the nature of the comebacks and needing them and 20-point deficit tonight? Is it just too much to kind of fall behind by that much and then have that happen repeatedly?
I mean, yeah. I mean, against any NBA team, really. It's tough for comebacks to happen around the league. Yes, they're a great team. They have the experience. They're the defending champs. They have all that. I just don't think we want to be in the hole, a 20-point hole each game. It's not going to suit us well.
Jalen, coming off a loss, what does the group mindset just have to be as you approach game 4?
Learn from today. Learn from games 1 through 3, especially today, and then just come out with some more urgency. Be ready to go on Monday.
What did you see tonight from the perimeter defense that might have been different from the first 2 games? It seemed like they were able to get going.
You know, it's not just perimeter, it's all of us, you know, it's a team game. And, you know, from perimeter to backline, for me, my job, we just didn't do enough today to, like I said, execution. We didn't execute at a level I told y'all we needed to execute to win tonight. They're the defending champions for a reason. So they show their medal tonight.
Some of the guys were saying that you knew they were going to come out with intensity as defending champs.
I think we all knew, including Al. So.
And either some of what Josh was saying, maybe you guys didn't match it.
No, I mean, it's obvious we didn't match it. I mean, we just didn't execute at a higher level. You know, I think sometimes you can always say, you know, you're not making shots, so that's how they're up. But we made it. We gave them too many good looks, and you know, they capitalized on it, and you know, we just didn't do enough to put ourselves in a position to win tonight.
Karl, I know you guys have won your road games, but disappointing to be 1-3 at home in the playoffs?
I mean, it's disappointing to lose in general. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's home or away. Obviously, you want to win in front of your fans, but you know, regardless, wherever we could get a win, we'll take those W's. Just didn't do enough tonight to come out the win.
Karl, where can you guys find that urgency from the jump, rather than you guys find yourself in a big hole?
I mean, it's the NBA playoffs. You know, we all got to walk in with that kind of urgency. It shouldn't be something that we have to tell people. So, you know, it falls on all of us to, you know, come in with that kind of urgency, that desperation, that will. Not when we're down 20, you know, to start finding a way to find a way to win. We got to find a way to win when we're, you know, tied up with them.
Has there been a common thread in going behind 20, like you mentioned?
Just not executing, you know, enough. I know I'm gonna say the word and you're not gonna get tired of hearing me say it, but it's true. The team that executes, you know, the most and for the longest duration of time, you know, usually ends up winning in the playoffs, and we just didn't execute enough early on too. And we gave them confidence. They started hitting some shots, and which is unfortunate. We couldn't match up with them with their offensive firepower at the time, so they put us in a hole. We just never found ourselves like usually getting out of the 20-point hole and finding a way to tie the game and win the game. We just couldn't do that tonight. I told y'all last time we can't afford to keep doing that type of game. We're gonna, you know, it's gonna cost us.
I know your hand. Was that a re-injury from something you were?
Oh, it is what it is. It is what it is. So I just want to do whatever I can to be out there.
The lip readers on Twitter were saying, thought you said that you broke something.
It is what it is. I'm gonna keep finding ways to play, so I ain't tripping.
Did you get an X-ray or anything?
I'm gonna let them tell you that. What happens in this locker room stays in the locker room.